That last commercial had Joe Namath. He's like 1,000 years old. Whatever. Vice.
Ira, did you make your own drink?
No, I didn't make my own drink. I had Tessa do it.
You're fucking working.
You right. Hey, what's up, guys? My name's Ira, and this is First Mic, where we talk to comics about their first time on stage. Today, we got Tony Cruz. Is the 8. Dude. All right, I guess I gotta get to work behind the bar.
Ira, that's not the bar.
You're right. God. Y'all aggressive out here. This is Tony Cruz, ladies and gentlemen, if you didn't already know from the introduction that you just saw, right? Be smart. Come on now. Tony, thanks for being on, man.
Thanks for having me.
Of course, dude. So tell me, first question, tell me about how you got started. What started you in comedy? What made you like either inspired or, and what's the story there?
I got a good story because I just told this other comic. So as I grew up, I was working a lot in like painting and just a very, very fucking boring ass job where you just do the same shit over and over again. So I would listen to comedy specials, podcasts, and eventually I started listening to Kill Tony right when they were still like, I don't know, this was probably 2017, 2018, right when they were still at the Comedy Store kind of coming up as like a more recognized show by other comics who I enjoyed. And so I checked it out, and obviously it's open micers, as people pull it out of a bucket. Sometimes it's crazy people. And I thought like, for every premise that seemed kind of good where people would eat shit, I'm like, this is how I would have done it, or this would have been funny. And so I could just feel myself wanting to like edit and write their jokes for them or like fix them, because I thought like, I could do this shit. And then I remember there were 3 runs in Columbus, Cleveland, and I think Cincinnati. Okay. And Lucas Mateus got on 2 of them. I think one here and then one in Cincinnati maybe. Okay. And I saw his set, and it was the first time that I saw somebody kind of close to what I am. He's Colombian, he's adopted though, a little different, but I just thought like, oh, he has all this background and he didn't expand on that. Like I wanted to kind of like give him notes. Yeah. And it was just funny because I was just like, maybe I'll go to an open mic and check it out. And I eventually met him, but I just remember thinking like, oh, weird that like it seemed like out of reach, just, oh, these are people on the internet. And then it's like, oh no, it's just people, doing comedy. Right. Yeah. So that made it feel real from like, this is just kind of out there to all of a sudden this guy lives in my city. Like I could see him, we could like, shoot the shit, and now we're friends. And like, I love that. Yeah. It was just a small little, I guess, sense of, oh, I'm like this guy. I belong to this crop of people, It almost is like, it's something, I mean, you said this, but it's like, it seems inaccessible until you have one point of access, and you were like, that's all it is? Yeah. Like, I love that. Well, yeah, like, not talking shit to Lucas, because he'll tell you himself, he works at the grocery store, he's the chicken man, but I just thought like, I'm not interesting, I don't have shit to say, but he made even like mundane shit. I'm like, okay, well, he's not like shying away from it. That's just who he is, but he's talking about other shit. Like I always thought, oh, people talk about their life in stand up. Right. My life isn't that interesting. I'm fucking watching paint dry. So, literally. Yeah. And so I thought like, yeah, fuck it. Like I'll just, I guess, go back to what I know and I think is funny, which is like, my favorite times in school were like the lunch table. Like, just everybody getting flamed, everybody just talking mad shit, and like, it's kind of no holds barred, like especially like starting like 7th, 8th grade, and then all through high school. It's just like that was the most fun, that or the back of the bus, dude. Like it's just yeah, and that was the vibe I wanted to bring. So I was just like, all right, there's still people like this in functional society who have an outlet. Yeah, here's the outlet. Yeah. That's so. What's funny is like I haven't thought about the back of the bus in years, but like that's where so much comedy was happening. Shout out Rosa Parks, dude. I mean, I don't think you don't have to think about it thanks to her. Here's what I will say. I bet you in her mind, she was roasting the shit out of everybody on that bus from the back. She's like, I'm going to do this in the front now. I'm just going to move up here.
They can't hear me. I'm just gonna say my jokes where you can hear me.
Yeah, and you get to see them walk in too. So it's like, oh, look at this dumbass. Just
that's what you chose today. That was the choice.
Mm-hmm.
That's the choice.
Really open-toed shoes, bitch. You worked the factory line.
Is Clay in Georgia? I forget if she's from Georgia or not. There's Clay there though, right? There's Clay. Yeah.
I don't know, man. This sounds.
Anyways, moving on from Rosa.
I'm more of a bricklayer than a
more of a bricklayer. Well, you were talking about paint, so I'm not painting shit if I don't have to. That's my fiance loves doing that type of stuff, so I'm gonna let her paint, and then you could help if you want to. I'll pay you.
Always the help.
Always the help.
Always the help.
No, dude, I love that though. Like coming up with the intention of like, you could do this. Like you were already writing jokes because you were rewriting people's jokes. Side note, Brandon, that's a great idea for a show.
I wrote it down.
You wrote it down? Yes. That's why I work with Brandon.
Yeah, that's you mentioned Xavier's fucking workshop earlier in like 5. It's like that's one of those things where like the other week I couldn't get up because I was up too late and I had to work early the next day. So I'm like, fuck it. But I'd gotten there in time for the workshop. There's this new comic, I forget his name, but he's talking about like cows and like something about like wanting to like his first experience with them, like seeing one getting fucked, and all of a sudden that was like porn to him, and I was just like, what the fuck? Like it's more bestiality, but I guess I don't know, maybe But I was just tagging it up with giving him shit about like a woman with vitiligo turning him on now, and like, it's like crazy shit.
But like that goes into it. That stitches the joke together.
Yeah, and it felt good to kill in front of comics just during the workshop where I was just like, all right, I got my ideas here. They like them, so I feel funny. Like, I have a hard time believing I'm funny sometimes. Okay, so I think that's also probably why I like to rework other people's shit, where it's like the premise is good, and I'm like, does it land here? You know, or I thought you were going this way. But for me to say my first thoughts can be the funniest thing, and yet I'll still kind of I shy away from it a little bit because I know dude, I take swings. Like I say some stupid shit. So that's why sometimes I'm like, I
have seen you take some swings, and I'll be like, ooh, he swung at it. He went.
But sometimes when they hit, dude, it's just they like rocket fuel. Yeah, it just explodes, and like. I forget when we were going back and forth. I did Jarrell's Wheel of Comedy in Dayton.
Okay.
And this ginger kid went up, and, you know, the classic Wigga sort of, you know, Slim Shady kind of esque. And it was kind of making everybody uncomfortable because, you know, hard Wigger, you know, hard R in it, and hardly anybody but a black crowd, you know, so they're kind of like unsure, and he was awkward, you know, you can't ever be awkward about that.
You gotta dive in,
dude. The Slim Shadys that say the N-word soft A with conviction, you're just like, shit, I can't piss him off, dude. Like if Brandon like had a white oversized t-shirt, little dirty and rugged looking, I'm like, he'd been outside, but like leave him alone. It's like this guy sings to himself like this. But
word.
Yeah, but like I went up and I forget they wanted me to do a race joke, and then at the end I said real wig as shit, and it killed just because I knew like that was the funniest thing to do. It's just like to double down on the awkwardness.
Oh my goodness, because you embraced that awkwardness and he didn't.
Yeah. See, but sometimes the crowd doesn't, and then they're just kind of like, fuck this guy. Like you got to let them know where you're coming from first. And I think that's the fun part, is that if you take big swings and you don't set it up properly, you just start digging yourself into a hole.
And he probably just made the assumption like they were going to be with him on it, and they weren't.
Yeah, it is just,
you got to earn that.
Yeah, you can't be soft about it though. You can't like tiptoe into like, oh, is it okay if it's like consent, dude? Like if you know you got it, you can fucking go right in. But if you start is this okay? Is it okay if I that's dress code.
It's not sexy.
Yeah, it's not sexy. Yeah, see, that's what it is.
It's a turn off actually at that point, unless that's what they're into. But at that point, you would know.
Yeah,
you would know. You'd be like, I'm gonna ask permission for everything. Do you mind if I look into your eyes? Too late. Anywho, so tell me. I mean, maybe you kind of did and I missed it, but tell me about like your first time actually on stage. First, whether it's open mic, whatever.
First time I think was it was at the Shrunken Head.
Okay.
It was December 19th, either 17th or 19th of 2018.
I think you're the first person to actually say the day ever.
It was a Monday, so I know it's either the 17th or the 19th. I can check back and be accurate. But yeah, dude, I'm telling you, I'm coming up on 7 years. Yeah. It was a big moment where I was like, fucking remember this, your life changed now.
It's different now.
It's different. But yeah, I was at the Shrunken Head, dude. I remember I was having like a panic attack because I just started smoking weed. Like this was I was 21 at the time.
Yeah.
I'd smoked a little bit when I was like, in my teen years here and there.
Right.
And then being at the back patio of the Shrunken Head, there was just joints flying everywhere. And I was just like, yeah, I want to be accepted. I want to be cool, but also free weed. So word, if you need your fix,
Shrunken Head.
And I remember having like this thought of like, oh fuck, what's gonna happen? Like I don't even know what I'm gonna say. Like I had jokes written down, but as soon as they called my name, I remember Nick Glasser was hosting, and he introduces everybody the same way. It's like, oh, it's a very good friend of mine, very funny guy. Boom, just gives everybody a neutral slate.
Right.
And I went up. And I just, within a second of turning to look at the crowd, like the lights were so bright, I couldn't see shit that I was just like, fuck, I don't even remember what I wrote down. And so I just kind of went, but I was so like high and fucked up that I just didn't have the thought of, I'm doing this right now. I was just like, I'm just going to keep talking for 5 minutes until, this is over with.
Hell no.
And I got some decent laughs here and there. And I think I managed to, at the very end, close with a couple of the jokes I had written, which one of them was, the last one was like, okay, that might be something. And eventually it became like a joke that I started doing like, in my set.
Hell yeah.
But a lot of those premises that I had, I feel like were good because I've seen some people do similar takes. Like I just watched one of the Don't Tells on Hulu, and this girl had something similar about a Tempur-Pedic mattress.
Got you.
And I was like, fuck, okay. So I had like little inklings, but because I did well, I was like, all right, fuck it. I guess maybe I can do this. Like, maybe there is something here. Second time, I think I got so nervous. Again, I didn't have weed this time that I just drank like crazy, dude. I had like maybe like 6-7 beers in the span of 2.5 hours.
Damn.
Yeah.
You were like, and I'm nervous.
Yep. And it was at the Tree Bar, dude. There were 2 audience members plus the bartender, and there was these 2 old Irish regulars. They were just drunk, and
That's hilarious.
I don't remember shit. I just remember I talked about Clint Eastwood because I thought like, oh, these are old white dudes. They kind of remind me of him.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah,
and they liked it, but I was like, I was doing the whole get off my lawn. Like I look, I looked like he would have chased me off his lawn, and they love that shit. And I still didn't remember. So I'm like, okay, I need to do one set sober, no weed, no alcohol. I need to just know I can do this.
Yeah.
In my third set, I bombed my dick off, dude.
Yo,
like terrible. It was at the Shrunken Head again. Nobody was there. It was like I was like number 27 out of 30.
Oh,
it was
they were gone.
Yeah, it was damn near midnight, and I just ate plates of shit. And I remember sitting there thinking like, well, I gave stand up a shot. Like
word,
I did it.
I did the thing.
I can tell people I did it, but then that feeling sat with me, and I feel like anytime I write or have these small breakthroughs, it's right after a heavy bomb because I'm just angry. Like I'm angry and I'm spiteful, and I'm like, no, you guys don't get it. You don't understand me. And then I'm like, brother, you didn't say anything understandable. It's not relatable. Yeah. There's no joke. It's just kind of weird, unfleshed out ideas.
And,
and then people would start giving me shit about this, but I would always write before any show. I'd write out my set list and then verbatim so that I could remember words that kind of, stir the thought a little bit more. And I got shit for that for forever. Same thing for having the same like fucking 5 minutes, even though I was evolving and crafting the joke. It was like, this is draft 1. Now we're at draft 7, and draft 7 has 3 punchlines. Draft 1 had a premise,
but it's building, it's evolving. That makes sense.
Yeah.
It's so funny. I think that just looking at and watching a lot of different comics in the city in Columbus, but anyways, looking at different people and like seeing people's, 1 week to the next week to the next week. If you go enough, you will see the same fucking jokes.
Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with that, because that means that whoever, like you were saying, you were workshopping it, you were morphing it into this thing and really figuring out how to make it the best that it could be. And I'm sure that it was getting better every single time, even though people were giving you shit for it.
Yeah, because a lot of people don't notice.
Yeah, exactly. Most people wouldn't notice. Like if you're a random person that's going to come into Rehab Tavern, it's a great place. If you're going to come into Rehab, one of the shows, then you're going to see a comic. You're like, all right, cool. That dude has probably been working, like, let's say, we have you on. You've been workshopping this thing for like, I don't know, a month.
Yeah.
it's not the same that it was at the beginning of the month, and it shouldn't be. And then what I do love is like you were saying how you write it out. That makes so much sense. I mean, my brain is like an organized, structured thing, so I gotta like, what am I doing today? Like, even though this show feels like a conversation, I promise you it is so structured in my brain. Not his, in mine.
Yeah, you kind of need to know where you're going.
I know where it's going. I know how I want us to get there. I know what it's going to feel like, about the amount of time it's going to take to do every single thing. I also have Brandon who gives me a signal. Brandon's awesome. But like my point being is like, it makes sense to write it out. And for those that don't write it out, I'm like, that's actually more impressive, cool, but like, I'm gonna keep doing, I probably would do the same thing if I was on stage. It's like, okay, joke number one, here's a transition, here's how I'm feeling. I would do the same shit. It makes sense to me.
Yeah.
If I saw you, if next time, matter of fact, I hope the next time I'm at any club, I'm gonna be like, oh, he's doing this shit right now. Look, oh, he's about to cook over here. Y'all not ready. I'm so excited for that.
But yeah, I guess that goes back to saying though, like trying to get away with certain types of jokes, especially when you take big swings, is if people aren't on your side or I come off a little bit like douchey and kind of I'm glad it's like
you do.
Yeah, a lot of people are like, the thing I get most from people is like, you're actually a really humble guy.
That's so accurate though.
I'm surprised you didn't patronize me.
Like,
dude, I'm not. I guess I just I don't know. I am very anxious and kind of like isolating sometimes, and people who are the same way take that as, oh, he doesn't fuck with me. And it's like, nah, bro, I don't fuck with me. I'm just scared right now. Like,
don't fuck with me.
And I guess because of that, I was a lot more cognizant of how I would come across with certain jokes, or why a joke that might have murdered that all of a sudden I did out of order is now like falling flat, or I'm just losing everybody, because it like takes, you got to string people along with you to kind of make, if you're okay with this, you're going to like this. If you like this, like I always set up like race jokes about myself, or I roast myself, or I talk about my family with some of the sensitive subjects like, sexuality or religion before I flip it on other people, because I want them to know, hey, I'm okay with this too. Like, I'm not you can say whatever the fuck to me and I'm usually going to laugh, because it's like, it's not that serious. If the intent's to be funny, great. And even if the intent's to hurt my feelings, sometimes people do it so creatively that I'm like, that's fucking,
damn, he got my ass.
That's good. Yeah. And so I guess to me, it's just, it requires some sort of self-awareness to know how to write, but also to like kind of warp people's perception. You got to know kind of what they're thinking of you already to take them here, and then all of a sudden flip them back and be like, no, you were right about me, but actually I'm back over here now. Like, like one of the stupidest things that I know, as soon as I know I can get into some of the weird shit with like rural crowds, like sometimes I'm just like, look, don't even ask me about the border crisis, man. Like, I'm still on the fence about it. And they're like,
they're like, this guy gets it.
Okay. So,
I like him.
Yeah. And really that's just to set up the fact that I'm neither like Mexican nor American. Neither groups fully accept a Mexican American. It's kind of like being light skinned. Like, like they're like, nah, you're not full black though.
No,
like, oh no, like your parents are white, but you're
like, that is accurate.
Yeah. It's like you get the shit end of both sticks,
Right.
And so it's funny to set up a joke like that where they think I'm gonna be like pro Trump or pro Biden or whatever, just depending on the political landscape. But to set something up and then get them to go along with more and more of the shit. Like, I like to antagonize a crowd that I'm with. So if it's a fully rural white crowd, I'm gonna fuck with them about white people, just because I know that for a second it's gonna potentially lead to something new. I don't want to do the whole black people are like this, white people are like this, Mexicans are like this to them. I want to tell them, hey, this is what society's kind of like, and then flip it, just because it's fun to let people lower their guard, and then rough them up a little bit, like pow, pow. Hit him with a couple, and then like stab yourself, and they're like, hey, he went harder at himself though, and it's like that's how you get away with it. If you're just stabbing everybody, and then you just like do come off pretentious and kind of patronizing and douchey. It's like
damn, no, that's deep. And like having seen you do your thing a bunch of times, yes, that is literally what it is. And I don't think I ever had really the words to kind of put it together to describe it, but that is it. That's you. So last thing I'm going to ask you, what advice do you have for somebody that's new to comedy or thinking of, starting comedy?
I think you should get into comedy to have fun.
Sure.
A lot of people do it for either social media or the attention, all this other shit. And eventually comedy sucks ass, especially at open mics.
Yep.
So the biggest advice I always have is to keep having fun. If you're going to mics or you're, starting out in comedy and you go, maybe check out a show. If you're having fun at the show and you think, oh, I can't wait to be up there, fucking let it rip. The first time I went to an open mic, it was at Bossy Girls. Gilly was in there killing. He was hosting, destroying, dude. And I'm like, I can't do that. I'm not going to ruin this show for everybody because the last 3 comics did great. Fuck that. And I just scratched. And then the next 3 or 4 comics bombed. And here I was like, oh, I'm a pussy. I can't. They did it and they bombed. And here I am like, So I think it's, just keep having fun. Like, that's the only thing that'll keep you coming back. Because if it's not fun and you just feel like it's a chore or something you have to do, then it's like, it's not really worth doing. Because I'm 7 years in. I make a couple $100 if I'm lucky here and there, per show. And it's not like it's paying my bills. Yeah, it's a lot of bullshit. So it's like, if it's not fun, don't do it. If you enjoy it casually, great. There's a lot of people we see in the scene that are like a couple open mics here and there a week, maybe a show or 2.
Yep.
I'm fortunate enough. Sometimes I have 6 shows in one weekend, or
that's dope.
This week I have 4, and it's like,
hell yeah.
It also kind of sucks ass. It's like,
because you're going.
Yeah, because you're just go.
Yeah.
But then I remember on the way there, I get to have fun. I get to cut loose. Like, this is just
hell yeah,
me having a good time with people, and like that's the only part that really matters, regardless of where you're at.
Right. No, I love that. That's dope, man. I think that's solid advice because it's focused on the thing that everybody comes to comedy for, and that's to have fun.
Yeah.
Like, whether you're in the audience, whether you're on stage, you should be enjoying what's happening. That's how that should go. Speaking of antagonizing people, if you want to be antagonized by this wonderful man, tell them where they can find you on social media, internet, stuff like that.
I'm at Tony B Cruz, Tony Tonyb, the letter B, Cruz Cruz, on Instagram, Facebook, Threads if you use that, Twitter, X, whatever the fuck, TikTok. I don't use TikTok a lot. The roast battle, we have that coming up this Friday.
Roast battle.
And there's a drag show as well that I'm on. It's
really?
First time I'm doing that. Yeah,
Where's
stand up
drag
and
show?
drag. It's at hashtag
Interesting.
Friday. Yeah, this weekend at Friday night at hashtag roast battles at the Attic.
Right.
Friday night as well.
Yep.
What else? I got a Spanish show. Para los que hablan español.
Hey.
There's Thursday at the Attic with Fredo and Guille. So they don't give out their last names, for tax evasion purposes.
Makes sense.
Yeah. And
for those that don't know, that was a joke. Idiots. Somebody took it seriously, like, oh.
And then I think Next Stop Comedy in Pickerington, have that coming up. I'm opening for TK Kirkland at the end of the month as well. Josh Rusani's Clean Show at the Attic Comedy Club at the end of the month.
Love it.
Yeah, several different things. I'm bad about posting them, but I'll try to.
It's okay because this is gonna come out after you've done all that anyway.
Hell yeah! Well, thank you guys for not coming to my show. At least you guys didn't ask like friends and family, like, "Oh, when's your next show?" And you send them 7 flyers and 2 direct messages, and they're like, "Whoa, bro, when's your next show?" Like,
Yo. So that being said, even if you don't get the ones that he just mentioned, dude is always doing his thing. If you're in Columbus, check him out. It's worth checking out. He's funny, always a good time. Sometimes he bombs, and that's also fun.
Yeah, it's fun. If you like to laugh at people, I'm a good person to laugh at because you can feel a lot better about yourself.
Oh, man. So signing off at the end, we got to say thank you to our wonderful official, unofficial sponsor, Rehab Tavern. Thank you for housing us, letting us have alcohol. They don't. We got to pay for all of it every time we have to do it. That joke doesn't die with me. I think it's funny because they make me pay for alcohol. We also don't pay to be here, so that's fair. There's that.
Squatters' rights.
But for those that have watched, if I don't beat the mic up, for those that have been watching, those that are listening, thank you for doing both. If you're listening, go watch. It's a great show to watch. You get to see my beautiful face and Tony's beautiful face. Beautiful face.
Kind of look like just Charlemagne the God and Andrew Schultz if if they just not even Timu, not even like this is like the worst version, like a fucking.
I feel like I look better than Charlemagne though.
You think?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Like I feel like he's attractive because has a lot of attention and has money. You know what I mean? Like that's where his comes from. Mine is like, oh, he's cute. He's a good-looking guy.
No, you guys have both have radiant eyes. Okay, like
that's fair. I'll give you that.
I'm not trying to flirt with you, man. I'm just saying you got a lot of hope in your eyes.
I do.
Yeah.
The face I just made, that's a hopeful face.
Yeah, even though
That's a hopeful face.
there's still shine.
This has been First Mike. Make sure you watch the next episode too. Dude, thanks, man. Hell yeah. It's fucking dope.
Thanks for having me, man. That's
hopeful eyes.
I always get too fucking in the weeds of comedy and shop, you know. I'm like, this is part of it.